Okay, we are 22 days out from the meet, max effort bench day, and I don't know if I should be even talking about this in the vlog, but I'm going to talk about it because I think I can tie it into what I actually want to talk about. But had an Instagram comment today that kind of annoyed me, because Buddy Boy was insinuating that if I'm going to complain about my knee as much as I have been, that I shouldn't be jumping after my deadlift sets. And first off, depth jumps have been a huge part of the rehab process, so it's not like I'm afraid of jumping and worried about jumping. I've been jumping a ton at home just to try to get myself to trust loading the knee more rapidly, a little bit harder, and it's been doing really well with that. Second off, like the knee. Yeah, I screwed up getting greedy on that squat when I shouldn't have, and if I didn't do that, it probably wouldn't be as bad off, but the fact that I did tear a meniscus, the fact that it does hurt, the fact that it does suck, the fact that I am struggling with trusting it on squats, I think it's very important to be talking about it, not to complain about it, not to go poor me crying, quitting, but to show you guys that no matter what happens to you, you can work through it, you can overcome it if you choose to overcome it. And if I just shut up every time it was bothering me, I wouldn't be able to get that point across. And I'm not trying to whine about shit as much as I am just trying to show you guys that, hey, you can tear a meniscus and it is not the end of the world. Is it inconvenient? Does it suck? Absolutely, but you can make it work if you choose to make it work. And that is the whole point of why I'm doing this vlog, is I want to show people that no matter what, stuff can be overcome. No matter what, a meet prep will never be as easy as you want it to be. And if you embrace that it's going to be hard, embrace that it's going to be difficult, you can still do something very cool, even when things do pop up that is a little bit unfortunate. Now, where that leads into what I want to talk about today is, since that bench day when the combo rack was all disconstrued and I was unracking weird, pissed off the pec minor that bench session, this pec on this right side has not felt very good since, and I am having difficulty with trusting it. And again, I'm not saying this to go poor me, make excuses. I'm saying to say this is what I need to overcome this training session, and we're going to do our best to overcome that today. Now, with that said, I do have a little bit of flexibility when it comes to bench training scheduling from now into the meet. And what I mean by that is, if today does not feel like this is going to be trustworthy enough to push as hard as I need to push, I can't afford to bump this session back to next week, but I would much rather save that option for later or not take that option at all. So we're gonna do our best to make it happen. Try to do a little guillotine press before I actually take the bar, just to get things opened up, FYI. Feels better than last week. So let's make sure we are pulling the bar out well, loading in the lats, and keeping this guy feeling juicy. Optimistic so far. 2 reds will kind of be the tell of how we're actually going to do today, though. And the reason you see Miana sneaking around the frame with her camera out is new shirt dropping here shortly. This is only half of the drop. The other half I'll show another training session, but be on the lookout for when that happens. Does not feel 10 out of 10 perfect, but feels at least good enough that we can keep going. And I'm hoping it's going to be a similar story to the dumbbell presses on Monday, where each set I was able to trust it a little bit more and more, but we're going to get there if we get there. So we're going to go conservative jump with 315 and start doing triples, because plan for today is a triple that hopefully doesn't suck. And I fully understand that this is not the most intelligent thought process, because ever since ripping my left pec off, like, any sort of pec sketchiness kind of scares me. And in 2015, I partially tore the sternal fibers off, never got it fixed. So I'm used to benching with it feeling a little bit sketchy, but since the left one, when it feels sketchy, like, the sketchiness weighs on me a little bit more. And what I'm telling myself right now is, like, I need to just pretend that the sketchiness is fine, deal with it, get through it, learn to trust it. And if that is the wrong choice, like worst case happens, I rip the thing all the way off, and like worst case, left one's doing fine now, so we will continue sucking it up. And that felt better than 265, so we'll take another. And Keen Eye Miana noted that I kind of had a little bit of a weird bobble during the unrack, and we're thinking that I need to touch a little bit more rear delt, so I'm gonna run some spider walks before the next set. And what I'm telling myself here is, logically, I know that it is just feel. I know that it is just me not trusting it, and if I want to trust it, I gotta show myself that I can trust it. And that one felt better, the 315, so 385 next. And I am well aware that there probably is somebody watching this that thinks I am being a pussy for having these thoughts. But the thing is I'm having these thoughts and choosing to decide that they don't matter. So I don't know what that means, but we are going 385 next, and goal is to make it feel even better yet. Best feeling one yet, so 415. And for that one, we are going to cheat a little bit harder and use the belt and mouth guard. And this will be a similar situation to last night with 65, where this will be good enough for today, but I really do want to take another jump. But if there is any doubt, we're going to call this good enough for today. So we're going to wake up, do our best to smack it so we got a chance at another. Felt good in the pec. Felt also very heavy, so I'm a little bit annoyed at myself, but that'll be good enough for today. And I mean, I'm not thrilled with how that moved, but I am very happy with how the pec felt. And with the pec getting better and better every set today, I know that when I do take the last heavy bench, I'm going to be able to trust it a hell of a lot more than I did leading into today's session. Plus, like I was talking about at the beginning, I have a little bit of flexibility in my bench scheduling because I have been taking my heavy benches on Thursday. And if I were to take my heavy bench next Thursday, that would be 2 and a bit weeks out, which would be a little bit too far. So next week, I am not going to bench heavy, save it for the Monday or Tuesday after taking my heavy squat, and that should let me catch a little bit of recovery back, be a little bit fresher, have a little bit better showing, and expecting that it goes exactly how we need to go, because today, even if it was not perfect, it was more than good enough with how the pec has been feeling, and I'm excited to crank some JMs now to make sure the triceps are nice and awake.
But before we do that, if you're feeling stuck in training and you're not making the progress that you should be based on how hard you are working, hit link below and join the team so you can get daily individualized coaching directly from me on every single thing that you're doing in the gym, so we can dial in your technique, build your weak points, set you up with better programming, and make sure that the effort you're putting in produces the results that you should be seeing.
Lost my other wrist strap. Put it in my gym bag, but I was just going back through Instagram too and watching old posts, and like, even if I wasn't thrilled with bar speed and how sort of that final rep moved, like bar speed was comparable to the 415 single that I took 3 weeks before the 495 I pressed in training, which definitely wasn't oversend, but I mean, 3 weeks from now is platform, so I think we are in a good spot, even if that isn't perfect. And if we can start JMs at 2 plates and go up from here, we're going to be at an even better spot. Forgot to move the rack height up like a dumbass, but we'll just deal with it for now. that felt shockingly okay after the bench, so we're gonna take an aggressive jump here. Because even if I am a little bit overcooked, if I'm not gonna bench again for another week and a half, I wanna have a really solid push here. I love how Durrell's ultra wide grip rack height that he was running today is the same rack height that I need for JMs. If I drop the ball in my throat, will he save me?
Yeah.
Anyways, decent crank here. Travis is gonna make fun of me for my range of motion, I'm sure of it. That's why your arms are bigger than mine.
Look at this, look.
We'll go up. Very happy with how that felt. Now, the temptation to swap the green out for a blue is very high, but considering that bench didn't go perfect, we'll make a smart jump here and save that for next Tuesday. Waiting for Travis to finish his sit-ups to come squat again, just because jamming this much weight is a little bit scary, so rather be safe than sorry.
We're seeing if you can get to 100 first.
Yeah? How many do you get?
I'm at 75.
That ain't bad.
He's like barely at 50.
Oh, what a pussy.
Yeah. Hey, good. Come on. Come on. Come on. That's
It would have gotten sketchy.
that.
Set up a little bit too close to the hooks, too.
Yeah,
like a
you're kinda
dumbass,
rubbing on
but
the wall.
yeah, could be worse. I'm okay with that.
You get any chest in that?
Hardly at all.
Yeah.
And I guess the guillotine press warm-up was a little bit of foreshadowing because, whoops, wrong hole. There we go. Well, I guess I'm not actually going to train a guillotine press. I'm just going to train a wide grip ultra flared because that should help me build up a little bit more trust back in the old pecorinos. Because wide grip ultra flared always feels pretty sketchy, but if I can do it and get used to the range of motion, get used to the position, get used to the stretch, it should help with desensitizing it for real bench. Hopefully, I don't regret loading the plate. Oh, that feels so gross. Yeah, we should have been doing this sooner. But it's feeling a lot better as we're going. Not good enough that I want to go up, but good enough that I'm glad we did it. Anyways, round 2 here. And like, I have been doing a lot of flies and that really heavy max pump pec deck. But the thing is that like the way a fly feels in the bottom versus this press is so much freaking different. So we'll keep touching her. But this set feels way smoother. And like tempting to go up, but with a therapeutic movement, I don't necessarily need to do that. In hindsight, maybe I should have warmed up with those more aggressively loaded because it feels much better afterwards than when it started. We are still gonna run the stupid heavy pack deck, but we are gonna keep it a little bit lighter for the sake of getting nice, smooth, stretchy stretch. Yeah, like, I don't know if it is just because I'm used to this machine, but like this pull down here feels so much friendlier than the wide grip bench at a similar point of the range of motion. So this is probably good for the pecs, but I do think running the wide grip bench will be more productive for how they're currently feeling. Should I bend my elbows more? No.
I did double. I wasn't ready for the first one to be that heavy, so I was like,
And that was about 10 million reps, so assume I trimmed a bunch out.
fuck no.
Well, I just want to make sure because I need to know if I need to go up.
Fly though.
Well, yeah, but I didn't want to just assume and put way too much on. Sharing the machine with Darrell. Darrell's doing rear delts, so we will go up from his rear delt loading for sure. Still not super heavy on this machine, but heavier just so we don't have to do 10 million. I love making eye contact with Darrell while I'm squeezing my boobs together.
I was thinking, I'm like, should I stare him in the eyes or?
Lick your lips, it'll make it easier. Oh yeah.
You good?
That was a lot of reps again, so assume I cut a lot out. Just realized my mic battery died, so I have no freaking idea how much of the vlog is going to be audio absent. Hopefully not too much, but Triceps Part 2, gonna run this sucker again a little bit bent over because the feels are phenomenal. That's way too heavy for running it bent over. Hold on. And that's way too light. Goldilocks zone. I actually probably can go up a little bit from here. We'll finish the set out first, though. Pump achieved. Okay, round 2. That was much more appropriate in terms of how many reps we did. And now for upper back touch, and we're going to do a Y raise, prioritizing trying to roll my scaps down my rib cage to touch low trap. And then once we get adequate level of effort, gonna be a few reps. Wait for it. Keep waiting. We're gonna switch directions and run a rise, trying to squeeze the crap out of rear delts at the top. That got challenging. Highly recommend that superset if you are limited on cables training at home. We will run one more. Okay, round 2. Now for the A's. Adequately challenging. And figure out for that, might as well just flip the bench around and run ourselves some of the stretchy curls at a pretty aggressive angle here. That was harder than I wanted it to be. Anyways, round 2. Gotta go more of a regular curl. This time instead of the hammer curl. More stretchy, but more biceps, less brachioradialis. Feels maybe more easy. Spoke too soon. Just gonna do hip flexors at home again because cable towers all very occupied at the moment, and I don't know. At home is gonna do a good enough job for now with the standing, but as far as the bench went today, like, I still am not thrilled at how it moved, and like, I am being hypercritical considering how I was feeling going into the session, because going into the session I wasn't even sure if I'd be able to trust the pec at all for something decently heavy, and like, I gotta be at least okay with it. Like, yes, it's not good. It's not as much as I wanted it to be when I did hit that 495. Like, my eyes kind of widened and I got very excited. But the reason, or at least a little bit of the reason I'm sitting here with the pec trust issues and the knee trust issues is I got greedy when I shouldn't have gotten greedy during this meet prep. Like, I was ramping up more aggressively than I should have just because I was excited with things moving. And had I had that little bit more restraint during that time period, I'd probably be sitting here in a lot better spot. And that is something that is so hard to do as a lifter, but if you can have that discipline, you're going to make life a whole lot easier on you. And like, yes, I am working with it. Yes, I am dealing with it, but there is part of me that wishes that I did not have to deal with it. But the point is, and what I was getting at the beginning of the vlog is, you're going to make mistakes in training. Like, everyone's going to make mistakes from here and there, which are going to lead to things feeling worse than you want them to. And if you have a solid toolkit, if you have a solid mental framework around how you're feeling and around how to deal with adversity and around how to deal with the shit that pops up during a meet prep, you're going to be a hell of a lot better off than the guy that wants to just quit because something doesn't feel perfect. And I see so many lifters that will have shit like this pop up and they just say that, like, hey, it's not worth doing the meet, I'm screwed, I need to take 6 months off to let it heal. And reality is that a lot of times all it's going to do is take a couple of weeks of deliberate rehab, and you're going to be way better off than you ever would have imagined. And obviously, I would be better off right now had I not made those mistakes. But again, I'm dealing with it. I'm pushing through. I'm figuring it out. And I do think that today was a big step in the right direction in regards to being able to trust the pec more. And I know that when I do take the last heavy bench, when I am a little bit more recovered, we should be very good to go. And what I'm thinking off of that is, if I can end on a double in the 445 to 455 range, make it feel snappy, make it feel assertive, we're going to be in a really good spot for the platform. So that is the mission, and we are sure as shit going to do everything in our power to accomplish it. And I think that's what I got for today, guys. So thank you so much for watching. Peace out. Have a good night, and I will see you in the team.